You should have banned him for life, lads.
1 minute you're swapping jerseys with me. Next minute, I mean, come on.
Hello and welcome to RugbyPass Offload with me, Christina Mahan. And today I'm joined by Simon Zebo and Ryan Wilson. And we will also be joined a little bit later in the show by Harlequins legend Mike Brown and Italian fly half Tomasso Allan a little bit later on. But first, how are you both getting on?
Very well, thank you very much. Very well. Zeebs, you all right, mate?
All good here, thank you. Yeah, all good. How are you?
Yeah, Zeebs, sadly now your French adventure came to an end on Friday. My first question is, right, like, who do I need to complain to you about you not getting into the starting 15? Like, what was the reason there?
Well, like I've had a few injury knocks in the past couple of weeks or past couple of months, and we've got a world-class team, you know. So, if one player is not fit or unhealthy, other people go in, and it's hard to get back into the team unless you're not playing at 100%. So, we have a pretty good squad, so there's no qualms there.
Wow, don't know. How long did you play, Zeebs? I never caught the game. Sorry, mate.
I got on for, I'd say, about 30 minutes. 30
and
minutes
you played very well, I will add.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's hard when you're coming on, and La Rochelle were a good bit better than us on the day, so there wasn't much opportunity to get my hands on the ball. But it is what it is. Came to an end, and we wish the Toulouse and La Rochelle a good game in the final.
And I'm going to have to continue to talk about it for just a couple more minutes, so don't kill me. But
great.
Just to rub salt into the wounds. So you guys obviously, now you did start the game very well within the first 10 minutes, but then didn't manage to score a single point after the 14th minute of the game. Where did things go wrong? Have you reviewed it? Have you discussed it?
We didn't watch the game or review the game as a team, but it was a bit disappointing. It was a kind of similar theme to what happened to us for the last couple of seasons while I've been here anyway. We come out of the blocks firing first half of the season, and then after Christmas the workload probably continues at the same pace, and we just lose a bit in the legs, or we didn't look as fresh, I don't think, as La Rochelle did the last day. We had a good opening 10 minutes, but after that we looked like a team that was tired and not bouncing off the floor like we usually would be. It's a shame, but
where was it played?
Were better. It was played up in Lille, in the football stadium up in Lille. Really cool stadium. They had a roof that you're able to close as well, and we decided to leave it open. I don't know why.
For a team that plays indoors, mate.
I know.
That's pretty stupid, wasn't it?
Talk to me about it, sir. This is what we have to deal with.
Don't tell me it started raining.
It started pissing rain.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a little bit during the first half, and then after 50 minutes, it didn't stop really.
Mate, what are you coaches thinking?
You're asking me. I know, lad. I know.
That it was June and the weather's supposed to be nice. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. But we knew.
Same bloke that left Zebo out, obviously, made the same decision.
He wasn't making many great decisions, was he?
Yeah. Bloody hell, that is madness, isn't it?
I know.
For a team like that,
I would have thought, it would have been a smarter thing to keep the roof closed, but I didn't think they expected as much rain as we had gotten. So, but it's a shame.
Whose decision was that? Sorry, on the day, whose decision was that? Was that?
It's the league who decides. They told us, So if one team says yes, one team says no, the league decides final say. So I think if we went and said, look, it's supposed to rain after 40 minutes or so, could we close it? I'm sure they would have said yes, but we agreed to leave it open, I think, in the end, which was, La Rochelle were definitely better than us and they deserved to win, but it probably would have helped us a tiny bit if it wasn't such bad conditions.
Bloody hell.
Shame.
Oh, it was. At least I got to watch one of your games. I'll be able to watch them all next season now because you're back in Munster.
Exactly.
So, onwards and upwards. But look, that was your last game for Racing. So how did you mark it afterwards?
Well, we couldn't do much because we got back so late. The game was at 9:45 and we got the bus back, which was 3 hours back to Paris. So we had a few beers on the bus and a few sing-songs, and it was good crack. But today we had our final official day, I suppose. We had a little team barbecue and shared a beer over lunch together. It was really nice. but no mental celebrations. Undeserving, I suppose, as well, seeing as we didn't make the final. But yeah, it is what it is. But we had a nice send off. Yeah.
So the missus and the kids are away now in Munster, and you're not going to go back out after this and go meet the boys for another beer.
Potentially, actually,
yeah, exactly. Come on, mate. Celebrations will go on. They have to go on, mate. You can't leave like that. So.
Although a lot of the team are actually there's about 10 or 11 lads, I think, going to Spain. So today, so it'll be interesting to see how many are left. But yeah, I'm hoping for.
What about my old mate Finn? Was he all right? Did he take it easy on the bus? Because I saw pictures of him arriving at the Lions thing, and he actually looked all right, quite bright-eyed and in a good way.
He did. He took it easy on the bus. He wasn't much crack as usual. And his girlfriend was in Paris waiting for him, so I'm sure he had an early flight the next day, so he couldn't get up to much mischief. But he was in good form.
Yeah, I was surprised that he even turned up on time for the.
I was very surprised. Yeah, no bloodshot eyes.
Yeah, exactly. The shades on going. That'd definitely be the case. That's the way he would have marked it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it seems I think the amount of stick that Finn gave you when he was on the show about you not drinking and stuff, I think you need to go out there today and be the last man standing. I feel like that's what you need to do.
Yeah. I'll try.
Go and enjoy yourself, mate.
I'll try.
Yeah, and we won't keep it too long, so we will fly through this.
James, this isn't a loaded question, but how many did you win any trophies with Racing since you've been there?
No. It sucks. I was talking to Donncha Ryan about it the other day after we lost, and we were saying we had, like coming over, the squad that we've had, the team, that we're able to pick from is incredible. And I never thought that I'd come back, after not winning anything. And like we were saying, we had 6 opportunities. Each year you have Champions Cup, top 14, and out of those 6 opportunities, we're 0 from 6 with our squad, which is, I find it bizarre, how we haven't won anything. It's such a shame. But yeah.
Oh no, it's crazy, isn't it? Because that's one thing I always spoke to Big Leone Nakarawa about. Like he was always like, I want to go to France and I want to win something, and he was like, that's why I'm going to Racing. And you boys get so close every time. It's such a shame, isn't it? I was desperate you boys go and win it.
Yeah, so, nice one, brother. I know, sucks, but.
Seems, what do you think that is? You just think it's the workload kind of catches up on you guys towards the end of the season, or like why haven't you been able to get some silverware?
Yeah, it's hard to stick your finger on it straight after the season finishes, but a team that's been consistent with me being here anyway is just that after Christmas time or after Six Nations kind of ends, we're not playing at the same level as we were for the first half of the season. So I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't know, less time on feet, keep us fresh or train a little bit less. But it's a shame. I don't understand how this group of players hasn't won anything out of 6 opportunities in the last 3 years. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing. But as I said, it's hard to pinpoint exactly where. But yeah.
So obviously now Exeter will be facing Quins in the final after they staged one of the most incredible comebacks in playoff history against Bristol. From 28-0 down, they managed to fight back to secure extra time and then the victory. And we are now joined by Harlequins legend Mike Brown to discuss the game. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, and legend as well. How nice is that?
I'm in a good mood today.
Great intro.
Nice intro, yeah.
Are you in Newcastle yet, mate? Are you still down in Guildford?
No, still down there, still training with the lads. Last week, this week. So yeah, a couple more sessions. It was a bit of a emotional day today because it was the last time at the training ground. We'll be at the Stoop on Thursday, so it's a bit weird picking up the stuff for the last time. But yeah, on to the next, and just try and help the lads prepare for Saturday.
I bet it's weird enough for guys that have been at like a club for 2-3 years. How long were you at Quins for?
17 years. Yeah, so it's a long time. It's a long time,
mate. There must be some crap in that locker. Like I go in my locker, I'm like, what is that at the bottom of there? 17 years of debris.
Yeah, I mean, during the COVID, we've kind of just been living out the cars, haven't we? Out the back of the cars with all the boots. That's just all in the car anyway. But yeah, it was just weird kind of going in the physio room for the last time and into the change room, which we haven't really used much during the COVID time. But yeah, it was just weird walking around and thinking this is my last time. after 17 years. Yes, it's been a long time. I've seen a lot of people come through there, like Jamie Roberts has been through there. I think his graffiti still on the wall. He left us a little message before he left to remind us of him every day. So that's still there. But yeah, it's strange.
Has it, Mike? Has it hit you? Like, have you come to terms with the fact that now you are leaving after so long? You know, where's your head at now?
Yeah, I think a little bit today, like I said, because it was the last time at the actual training centre. I think until after the game on Saturday, I think that'll be real realization. And then once I'm packing up the house to move up, it will definitely become very real then. So, and then it'll be like the first day of school when I go into Newcastle, trying to fit in, the apprehension of fitting in with the new lads, the cool group and all that sort of thing, and see what their preconceived ideas of me are and stuff like that. So
you have to mend a few relationships before you even begin.
There could be a few things to iron out with a few of the guys, but yeah, we'll see. I know a few of them from England, you know, like Wilson, Gary Graham, and Luther and Floody back in the day. So hopefully they've been nice to me, to the lads, and we'll see.
Now, Mike, we do have to talk about obviously the weekend. Was that one of the greatest games of rugby that you've ever seen?
I mean, it'd be right up there, wouldn't it? It was incredible. I was in the crowd with some of the other boys, and we kind of just couldn't believe it. But you know, after the first half, we were just kind of shell shocked, weren't we? Really, you know, they really showed their class and showed what they're about, what they've been about all season. But I sat with Nathan Earl and I actually said to him after we scored just before half time, I said, if we score right after half time, I think we'll go on and win it. Because I feel with Bristol, they've still got a few demons with knockout rugby and things like that. And from how we've been through this season, we can just pull something out of the bag. We've come back at the death a few times this season, and as soon as we scored after half time, I think within a minute, I said to them again, I think we're going to go and win this. And they just kind of looked out on their feet as the second half went on, and then they started losing a few players. Nathan Hughes, they lost Semi. They took Sink off really early. They're all big guys for them. And you could just see we were just growing into the game. And like I said, we can just pull something out of the bag at any time we want with the players we've got. Unbelievable game. 100 minutes. I mean, wow. It was. I can imagine it was amazing to watch. I mean, it was so quick as well. Like I couldn't believe how quick the game was. There was guys just out on their feet. I don't know if it showed that on the TV, but just watching it live, it was like, wow, this is a quick one. But
have you ever played a game that's lasted that long?
No.
I've never played an extra time in a rugby match.
No, I don't think I have.
Can you imagine what you feel like after 80 minutes, right? If they take me off at 60, I feel like a new man. On Monday morning, no aches, no pains. 60 minutes, sweet as a nut. 80 minutes, broken. 100 minutes, I don't reckon I'm playing for another 4 weeks.
Not our age.
Oh
not
my
our age.
God. Nah, no chance.
That's been the thing the first 2 days this week. Yesterday and today, it's just been all about recovery. Kind of going through the bits of the detail with walkthroughs and stuff, but mainly about recovery, ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, the boys are just still recovering, and all the work's been done through the season, so that's not a problem. It's just about getting yourself right for Saturday. But for me watching, I just wanted to jump in there and help the lads. Like it was painful to watch. Honestly, I was trying to keep calm, but I'm not a good watcher of games, especially when you want to be involved and it's your team. So yeah, it was tough, but yeah, really happy for the lads when they did it.
Here's a question: both of you will be able to answer this because you've both been around knockout rugby the last couple of weeks. Did you practice the old kick, like the kickoffs at the end? You know, like say you still drawing at 100 minutes.
Penalty shootout, like
the penalty shootouts. Did you go through that and practice it? Either
no, not at all. Is that what would have been after the extra time?
Well,
I have no idea.
You saw it in the French Pro D2, didn't you, Sebes?
That's yeah.
Just recently, and who was it? Someone
Armitage got the winner.
That was it. Is, yeah. That's when Armitage stepped up and slotted the last one. That was what I was thinking. So I was watching that, thinking, do you reckon they practice that in the week? Because why on earth is he number 6 on the list of kicking?
Yeah.
Do you reckon the French would practice that though?
We did. We practiced.
Did you practice it?
I swear.
We did.
We practiced it. Oh, man.
Yeah, we didn't. No,
but that's the thing. Our coaches were probably watching the Pro D2 final, and then they were like, "Oh, I've got an idea." You know.
Where were you on the list?
I was fourth.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry. First. But we ended up doing it after our captain's run the night before the game, and the coaches, you know, in typical French fashion, decided that they wanted all the subs and all the players not involved and the coaching staff not around to try and make it like an atmosphere. So we were on the pitch after doing our captain's run. Everyone was like, ah, whistles going, like jumping around, doing all this. I'm like, we have a semi-final tomorrow, lads. You know, it was mental. So we ended up doing that for an extra hour after training.
Did you get your kick though? Practicing? Did you get it?
I did. I scraped it through. It just got through like this.
Did you see when Stefan Altus was putting the ball on the tee? Couldn't even get it to stay on the tee. So
oh, really?
It was like wobbling around.
Yeah.
And people will look at me and they're like, "Well, you must." Bex, I think it was Bex was watching. She was like, "You must be able to do that." Like, because I'm a rugby player, she thinks I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I'm nowhere near. I was scuffling it along the floor, but it just shows you boys did. So you boys didn't practice it then, Brownie?
No, not at all. No, I didn't even know until the extra time happened, and we were talking about what would happen if it went over. I don't think anyone really knew, to be honest. So we didn't practice it at all. But I think that in our group of lads, there's plenty of guys that think they're quite good at football. Think they're quite good at always practicing the drop goals, always practicing the kicks for goals. Our captain mid-season actually hurt I think it was a calf, which kept him out for six games just practicing his drop goals after a training session. That is no lie. So they probably had that in the back of their minds and thought, yeah, we're not practicing this. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Zeebs, did you see how Joe Marler got to the game?
No.
In a helicopter.
Stop.
Did he actually?
Brownie, tell us what happened, because I saw it on Twitter. I couldn't
Go
believe
away.
it.
Yeah, so his wife gave birth on the Thursday, I think it was, or maybe Wednesday, one of the two. So he obviously wanted to be with them and her for the next as long as possible through that week, but obviously still wanted to play. So the team went down on the Friday to stay over. They allowed him to stay at home till the Saturday morning, and then it was quite an early kickoff as well. So they got the helicopter for him.
Typical
Joe Marler fashion. You know, he has to make an entrance. Don't give me any attention. No, look at me. You know, usually home games, it's the flamboyant tracksuits that he wears. I don't know if you've seen them. You know, getting all the attention like he likes to have. This time it happened to be a helicopter for the away game. So,
God.
That is so good. Yeah. He should have parachuted in.
Yeah. I don't know where he went. He went to a local rugby club, didn't he? And then they picked him up. But
how good is that? Who's thinking was that? Who thinks of that midweek and goes, right, Joe, we're going to let you have a little bit more time, but we'll get you a chopper from Guildford over. Does he live around Guildford area as well? Does he? Or?
No, so he lives out by Brighton, I think. Anyway, so he commutes a fair way up, Yeah, so they got it from a local rugby club in Brighton, I think, or around that area, and then over to Bristol.
Good.
But we have a great guy, Andy Sanger, who's our sort of player welfare, player development guy who deals with all this sort of thing. You know, new players coming in, he helps them settle, helps them find where to live, and helps their families settle in, and just a guy to talk to for us if we want to develop ourselves off the field, or we have a few issues that we want to talk to someone about. He deals with all that sort of stuff. If you need a chopper to a game,
Did he sort the helicopter?
Yeah, I think he sorted that. Yeah.
Oh my God,
mate! Don't tell Finn that, Zeeb. Do you imagine him? He turned up to every game with a chopper.
I know. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
but didn't the older Good? He used to go to Newcastle. Didn't he commute from London to Newcastle in a chopper or something?
I've heard something stupid along those lines. Wow,
so it's not the first time. Yeah, he used to do it regularly through the week. I think Dino signed him up and he was desperate for a 10, and Good had already retired, hadn't he? And he said, look, I'm living in London. I'm going to have to commute. He sorted a chopper out.
That's ridiculous.
Has that got your mind going, is it, Brandon?
Yeah. You know what? Do you know what? It's not a bad shout, is it? It would save me a lot on the removal costs anyway.
Yeah, too right, mate. And then you wouldn't have to leave Margot. That's a great idea. Right, get them to sort it out.
Yeah, if anyone's listening that can sort that out, please. I'd really appreciate it.
Now, Mike, we do have to touch off your 6-week ban. And for what it's worth, well, actually, look, so we had a conversation about this literally just before you came on, and I had kind of said, I think we're all in agreement that your stamp was completely accidental. And I think, Steve, you that's not the same opinion that you shared, is it?
I thought
how dare you?
I thought I was only joking. I thought we were talking about Conor Murray here. I was trying to get a rise out you when you stamped on him.
We've done that one already on here.
The one at the weekend, or your last one? No, I actually thought it was all right. Yeah.
I thought it was fun. Yeah.
You should have banned him for life, lads.
1 minute you're swapping jerseys with me. Next minute, I mean, come on.
I'm not giving Christina, you're right. I didn't say nothing.
You did. I didn't even know which one you were talking about. I just assumed we were all on the same page.
No, sorry,
I didn't know you stamped on more than one person, Brownie.
Maybe it
he got a 6-week ban to add to the other 136 weeks he has.
Oh my god!
I'm only joking.
Clear disciplinary record.
But Mike, how gutted were you to not have that ban overturned? Because I mean, a lot of people were in agreement that it did seem accidental.
Yeah, look, for me, obviously, it was accidental. I apologised at the time. I apologised after the game to make sure Tommy was okay, firstly, and also just to say it was accidental, which he acknowledged. It was acknowledged in the report. It was accidental from the disciplinary report. But for me, I don't feel like the ban reflected what they were saying in the report, and that was the reason why we went back to them and tried to get it changed. I don't disagree with having a ban because the way the game is now, and rightly so, we're trying to protect players, especially in the head area, and I did touch his head with my boot. So all I was trying to do was to get it to a level that I thought was acceptable for what they acknowledged in the report. Unfortunately, they didn't see it that way, and it stayed the way it was. And it's just heartbreaking, really, to end my 17 years in this way and not being able to contribute the way I want to. I mean, they don't even need me because they're in the final anyway. So it's one of them, isn't it? So but yes, it's just heartbreaking. I think with leaving the club as well and everything that's gone on, added on to that, it makes it even worse. But yeah, look, all I can say, what it is for me, it was accidental. I think anyone that watches the video as many times as I have, and as many times as the disciplinary panel did, you can see it's accidental. I'm looking at the play in front of me. I'm not really aware of where he is around my legs, and as soon as I feel my boot touch where it shouldn't touch, you can see I look down and immediately take the weight off his head and sort of fall back on my backside. And if I really wanted to hurt him, I could have. And luckily for him, and luckily as well for me, that he only managed to have a graze, which they stuck a steri strip on, because it could have been a lot worse, and it would have been a lot worse if I was trying to hurt him. So yeah, it's tough getting the ban, but also it's tough when people kind of use their preconceived ideas of you to say you're a dirty player or something like that, when you've had a clear disciplinary record for 17 years. And for me, it's clear to see on the video that it wasn't on purpose. So yeah, that's tough to take, but that's the way of the world. People want to have their opinions and things like that. So yeah, you kind of just have to suck it up, take the ban, try and help the team the best way you can, and move on.
You've never been banned before that?
No, I think I've had 2 yellow cards for infringements at the ruck, and that's it. And yeah, now
it's true though, and even when you go into those disciplinary hearings as well, you feel like the people in there are thinking the same. They're thinking, "Oh, here he is, mouthy, always in trouble." But that's what I always get in trouble for. I've never actually been banned, believe it or not.
Very similar, actually, the two E-boys, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm Scottish. I'm Scottish,
mate.
Yeah.
That's what they all say, yeah.
But no, honestly, I'm the same. I've never been banned, but everyone goes, "Oh, well, you're a thug." But no, I've never actually been banned for anything.
Yeah, I think this is a thing. Like when you play a certain way, and that's just the way I play. Like I think I am on the edge. I like that confrontational battle in games, but I've always, I think, stayed on the right side of it. And just this one mistake has cost me. But I wouldn't change the way I play. And the reason I was in that situation is a strength of my game. I was, trying to get back in the game as quick as possible. You guys will know that. That's how we're judged, by our coaches, by our teammates. We get statted on it, how quick we get back in the game, because it's so important now. The more time players spend on the ground, the more chance you've got of either stopping the team because you have more defenders, or scoring a try because you'll have more attackers. So it's ingrained in us. That's what we're trained mentally and physically for. So that's what I was trying to do. Fight to get back in the game. That's how I get turnovers, which is a big part of my game. And yeah, just this time, I wasn't fully aware of him, but how often are you aware of players around you when you're just fighting to get back in the game and you're just looking of how you can do that?
Zeebs has never been near a ruck, so he doesn't know.
Yeah. Clean slate one too. Clean slate too.
Yeah, right.
From being nowhere near rucks, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. Or anywhere near trouble.
Exactly.
Well, Mike, what have you been doing to stay busy in training? I think rumor has it that you've taken on a bit of a coaching role.
No coaching role for me. That doesn't interest me at all. To be honest, in terms of, I guess, coaching or mentoring, it hasn't really changed. So I'm still doing bits with the young lads if they want it, like Lou Liner, who played incredibly the last game in that semi-final as well, which was great to see. So in terms of that and just feeding knowledge and advice as people want it, that doesn't really change for me. I've been training on the Tuesday and Thursdays, which are the two main sessions of the week. Obviously in the opposition, and just try and keep my standards in training high, which can be tough sometimes, when you don't feel part of it, and mentally you don't have an end gain or anything like that. You just try and keep your standards high as much as possible, and test the starters as much as possible, because that will have a good replication into the game of how they're going to play, and if they've been tested, they'll be ready and prepared for the game. So just been trying to do that, and then either side of that, kind of been in a mini pre-season mode with Margot, who we've spoken about, just running and weights and gym circuits with her. Ryan will know about her gym circuits. They're pretty savage. So just trying to stay on top of all of that and be ready for Newcastle when that comes around. And then, just doing bits outside of rugby, spending time with the family, which you don't normally get to do when you're in that grind every week, doing that, and also kind of preparing for transition outside of rugby. So I'm about to start a Masters in Sport and Directorship in September. So doing bits in terms of meeting people in those roles in football. Went to Brighton Football Club, Norwich Football Club, been to Southampton Football Club. Just preparing to start the course. So meeting with a guy who's brilliant at presentation skills, so getting better at that. In touch with a tutor so I can start writing better, because I haven't done that for a long time. I haven't been at school a long time. So going back to school is massively daunting in terms of that. So just doing all those little bits outside of rugby to kind of, one, prepare, but also keep my mind from slipping into those dark thoughts of, I'm not involved, or boo-hoo me, and all that sort of thing. So just kind of keeping busy with all that. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, really.
You've kept yourself busy, and I will say, like, a model player to be looking towards life after rugby and what you want to do. And I think that's amazing. And even like, you're taking those steps. I'm just like, pat on the back. If I could pat on the back, I would. I think that's brilliant.
But that's 70 years in the game, though, there at one club. Like, Brandy, that's why you've been such a legend there. Like, there's guys that that come in and out, and they're not picked, and then they turn their nose up, they get the hump, they don't want to train properly, they're crap training when they're in the bibs. But then you'll have these times for your last 17 years at the club when you've not played, or you've not been involved in big games. You've got to still turn up and do what everyone else does that doesn't play. And that's why you've managed 17 years at such a big club and done so well for yourself, because it's the mark of the man, isn't it, that turns up whether you're picked or not picked. And you'll have been the same, Zeebs, when you weren't picked this week. Massive game, but you've got to do everything you can for the team. It's not about yourself, is it?
Correct. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, isn't it?
Look, I'm not going to lie. I've had my moments for the last 6 weeks and it's been tough, but at least once I get on the field, I can do what I love doing. And even though it is wearing a bib, you know, I could still be a nose, which I love doing. I can still be, you know, geeing the lads up and being vocal, which I love doing on the field. And I think I've done that. I think to be fair to a man, the guys that haven't been playing have been brilliant at Quins. They've really turned up on those Tuesdays and Thursdays and really tested the team, really prepared the team massively well. I think you've seen that in the performances that Quins have done when I've been playing and when I haven't been in playing. You know, those guys really deserve a lot of credit for where Quins are at the moment, because I've seen for the last 6 weeks how tough it is. You know, I've had a very good 17 years at Quins, but I've really seen the other side of it the last 6 weeks. So those guys really deserve, hopefully, a winner's medal, because they put as much, if not more, into that preparation than the guys that are playing.
And Mike, it's not over for you. It's just, you know, you're moving on to your next chapter now, which I think is really exciting as well. So, and it takes a lot for one person in, you know, 16, 17 years in a club to move to a new club. I think that's, you know, it's really impressive. So, you know, we'll be definitely keeping an eye on you next season. But now moving on, obviously the Lions are playing their first warm-up game this weekend against a very strong Japanese side. But Mike, I would like to know, if you were to pick your starting 15 for the first test against the Boks, who would you choose?
So yeah, I've got my 15. Would you like me to start?
Yes.
Fire away.
Yeah. So at 1, I've got Wynn Jones. Now, I don't know if he's any good or not, if I'm being honest, but I'm told by a few people that know what they're talking about. He is the man that played well in the Six Nations. So I'm going to go with him at 1. At 2, I went with Ken Owens. I just like the way he plays. Again, I wouldn't know if his set piece and stuff are good, but I can imagine it's pretty good. And, you know, I just like the way he plays, aggressive, confrontational. I think it'd be good against South Africa. At 3, I guess not what most people would pick, but I went with Carl Sinclair. Obviously, I know him well and I love the guy. His preparation is second to none of anyone I've met in the game. I think the way he's bounced back from not getting picked initially, I think he's just going to build on that. And I just love the way he plays. I think he should be in there, but it's a close call. At 4, Wynn Jones, obviously captain. I guess he'll be playing in 4. Ryan, you'd be able to tell me, is he 4 or 5?
4 or 5 don't really matter. I don't know the difference either.
4 Shane, that's it.
Yeah, 5, Atoji. I mean, world class. Has to be in there for me. 6,
even if he didn't have his best season, you'd still put him in?
I'd still say even if you think it's not his best season, I think he's still way up there. I think he'd be in a well 15. What he can do in that position compared to other guys, I think is far way above that. And yeah, athletically, he's just a nose at the breakdown as well. He just creates mayhem for the other team, doesn't he? I just think he needs to be in there.
I'd be of the same belief. It's just people were talking a lot about it, weren't they, when he got picked? They were saying, oh, if he's off form, does he play in the starting 15? I don't know. I don't know much about it either, but I'm just asking.
Yeah,
fresh off winning championship, though, Zebes.
True.
Hey, it's a trophy there now.
There's a trophy there now,
Number 6, I went Tipperick. I think he's great. I love the way he plays in attack and defence. He's brilliant back rower. 7, I went Curry. I think he'll be great against South Africans. The way he tackles over the ball, tough. We need some Englishmen in there as well. 8, Faletau.
No Scots, yeah. Just mark down.
Yeah,
no
sorry.
Scots,
what do you mean you need some English people in there? It's pretty much been an English team so far, hasn't it?
No. Welsh. A lot of Welsh. 1 English so far. Mainly Welsh.
Sorry,
Faletau, Christina.
Faletau 8. Faletau 8. Again, just love the way he plays. Great in attack. At 9, I went Murray. I wasn't really sure on the 9s. I don't think anyone's really put their hand up yet. And I think the next few games will really show who's in form. But I went with Murray just for his experience. I think the kicking game will be massive against the South Africans. 10, I went Bigger. I think he's been brilliant all season. Again, love the way he plays. He's a bit like myself, confrontational, loves getting stuck in. But yeah, I just think he's been brilliant for Northampton and brilliant for Wales. I think he deserves a shot. At 11, I went Watson. Tone, I think he's world class. You know, rapid, great feet. I think against South Africa, you've got to be world class to negate their kicking game under the high ball, and he is that. He can slot into fullback if needed to be, just as the game's unfolding. He can be in and out there. So he was my pick at 11. At 12, I went Aki. I think you need a ball carrier in 12 against the South Africans, set the platform. I think he fits that mould. So I put him in there. And then Henshaw at 13. I think Henshaw's had a brilliant season, especially in the Six Nations. So I put him at 13. 14, I went with Van der Merwe. So there's your Scottish guy.
Is it?
I was torn. Well, it's like a bit like you.
Hey,
So,
I've got blood, Scottish blood, mate.
Go away, mate. You don't, mate.
That's what they all say.
Hey, my mouth's for the wheel. My mouth's for the wheel, boys.
Oh, I think kid. Go on.
I was unsure. I'm not sure how good he is under the high ball. You'd be able to tell me. Is he good under the high ball? No? Okay, so I'm taking him out and putting Josh Adams in. Because I was torn between those two. So I put Josh Adams in. Because you've just deselected him.
Say you take him, go on then. 15, who are you going?
Listen, I need wingers and fullback who are going to be unbelievable under the high ball, because the way you beat South Africa with their kicking game is you need them first and foremost.
So you just deselect. You cannot name a whole team without one Scotland player in there.
I can.
Of course he can.
I can.
What are you on about?
And you actually took my one Scottish guy out because I was being kind and I added him in.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's all right.
So I've now put Josh Adams in because you took him out. And then at fullback, I put Liam Williams, which is a bit controversial. But the way Ireland exposed the Scottish back three in that Six Nations game, I just feel like South Africa will look at that, and I just love the way Liam Williams is as a fullback. He's more similar to me as a fullback. I think he's unbelievable under the high ball. He's great in defence, but also he has that spark like we saw against New Zealand in that Lions tour last time on their counter attack. I just think if you're gonna want to beat South Africa, it starts for me with how good your back three are under the high ball. Their kicking game starts and finishes with everything they're good at, in my opinion.
I love him, to be fair. I do actually like him. He's a good player, old Sanjay. Ex-scaffolder as well.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He's a great competitor, and like I said, I think he's more towards a fullback that I prefer. But Hogg is world class, and I have him on the bench just for the Scottish.
Oh, is that one?
Are you covering yourself now on the bench?
There you go, Ryan. That's what you get.
On the bench.
I had a Scottish guy, but you took it. You deselected him. I asked your opinion.
The whole. You chose the whole.
You told me. I asked your opinion. And you said no, and he was out. You were on the selection committee, so he's gone now.
So, guys, what are your score predictions for the Lions warm-up game on Saturday?
Go on,
when's the last time Japan even played? I can't even. 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
when did it?
And I nearly remember. I was one before him.
It was in the World Cup, Ryan. Didn't they beat the leather off E?
They also beat us as well, Z. So
we'll just forget that, Chrissy.
They beat us in the quarters, didn't they?
They got much for a team.
You didn't make the quarters. Get out of here.
To get into the quarters.
The quarters.
They beat us all to get into the quarters.
Oh, that's true.
Oh dear.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Last time I played in the World Cup, we didn't make out the group. So
I feel like the Japanese.
That was the home World Cup as well, wasn't it?
There you go. Thank you, Zebo. Yeah, thanks for that.
It just clicked with me, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. You would a great tournament, though. You did.
Right, score predictions then.
Yeah, score predictions for Saturday.
I'm going 26-21 to the Lions.
Really, that close?
Oh man, I think Japan or the Japanese are really good, no? You don't
they
think?
Haven't played in like 3 years.
Yeah, I still back them. Back them, man. I think their skill set is. Yes,
yeah, I love where they play, but they haven't.
I reckon their downfall in the World Cup was just that they didn't have they had a lack of depth. Like, I thought their first 15, amazing, but they just ran out of juice by the end of the tournament. I think if they, I know they haven't played in a while, but fresh, man, they could, I could see them winning it, but I'd give the Lions the benefit of the doubt just purely on quality of player. But yeah, I think it'll be close for them.
Mike, what do you think?
35-15, maybe.
28-10. That's what I was going to say. 28-10.
Okay.
To the Lions.
We'll see.
Christina?
I don't know. It'll be close anyway. I think from listening to how the Japanese even prepared for that World Cup, it's quite scary. So, and they really, really focus in and they want to prove a point. I actually think, Steve, the game that they beat us in, there's a statue there now to mark that occasion.
Go away.
Yeah, like that's how much it means to them. So yeah,
cool.
they're not a team.
And when they beat us, they did the same thing when they beat us, I think.
So they were expected to beat you.
Pretty sure they did a statue. Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Okay. And now, Mike, I know I am quite conscious of time, but just last question.
Come here. Say hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hey.
Come here. They're saying hello. Can you say hello? This way.
Hey, buddy.
This is Jax.
You kids have the same name, Ryan?
Well, I guess so, if he's Jax.
Ah.
Jackson
Nice.
for long or just Jax?
Just Jax, yeah.
We're Jackson.
Okay, Mike, so last question before we let you go. When you look back on your incredible 16-year career with Quins, what goes down as your biggest highlight and then also your biggest regret?
Well, actually, it's quite easy. Biggest highlight, obviously, would be winning the Premiership 2012. That was unbelievable. Just the whole build-up, the whole walk across to the big stadium at Twickenham, because we had thousands of fans just create a massive tunnel. For us, it was incredible, and then to win it the way we did. So that would be a highlight, obviously, and then regret. Standing on someone's head would be right up there. So yeah.
Fresh in the memory.
I wish I'd just done a Zebo and just lied on the floor for a few phases. So yeah, easy.
Oh, well, Mike, look, on that note, we will let you go. But thank you so much for joining us again. And best of luck with the final at the weekend and your move up to Newcastle next season. And we'll look forward to having you back on the show next time.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Take
Best
care.
of luck, Mike.
Cheers, Brownie.
Bye, Jax.
See you later, buddy.
Bye.
See you soon, boss. Take care.
How's it going?
Buongiorno.
Hey,
Tommaso.
Buongiorno. Bit of a weird one. In the middle of the Alps at the moment, so.
Are you driving now?
Driving. I'm not driving. I'm actually. It'll be quite crazy, wouldn't it? Driving to London.
Nice.
You're moving to Quins.
Yeah. So long drive. Started off perfectly. The aircon didn't work in the car, so 4 hours delayed. It's getting better now. But yeah, not the best environment for a call, but I'll make it work.
Oh dear. Well, look, let's just kick it off. So I suppose congratulations on such an incredible victory. After a very tough year in the Pro 14. So did you think that you'd beat the Blues by such a huge margin?
No, honestly, not really. They didn't bring too much, and they just came very directly at us, and we managed to cope with it. And then when we moved the ball around, we put them under pressure. So no, it went very well. Obviously, it's a great result for us, especially after what happened the whole season. The Pro 14, we didn't win a single game. So it's been a bit of a tough year for us, and then it started off well against Glasgow.
Hey,
the first game of the Rainbow Cup.
We set up for you, pal. You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. So now it started off well, and we didn't really expect it at the start, but we knew we had a pretty good fixture list to go to the final, and we made the most of it, and we won. So we're really, really happy about it.
And now tell me, what was the game plan going into the match of the weekend?
It was just trying to match them physically, honestly. We knew what they were going to bring. A Bulls team is always going to come up physically, especially as an African team.
I'll tell you how you boys have been playing. See, what happens is you get a good game. Obviously, you boys are unbelievable about when we played against us. And that style of rugby you played, offloading, that's the game of rugby that you boys have adopted, and you're starting to play a lot more. So that's the thing. I reckon Bulls would have come over with their physicality, but you boys threw the ball about a fair bit and cut them open like you wouldn't believe, eh?
Yeah. I didn't expect it to be like that, honestly. I thought they were going to still match us in defense, but when we move the ball around, we're dangerous. That's what we do during the week and trainings. That's what we like to do with Kieran and stuff. We always do fitness games and that sort of stuff, play touch a lot. So it's our DNA. It's the way we play, and we've managed to implement it, especially in Italy in the summer and stuff. In this period of time, we can play like that. When it gets to the winter, it's a bit difficult because of the weather aspect. But in this time, it was perfect, and we managed to do well.
And you just mentioned there that obviously I think Glasgow kind of set you up to help you on your win in the Rainbow Cup. But now you also did. So I would like to know. I suppose you have played against Glasgow numerous times in the Pro 14. But what we really want to know is what was it like playing against Ryan Wilson?
Why are you asking that? That's a sweet question.
What I need, Christina.
He's a man.
Teeing up a slag. Teeing up. Go on, tee it up for me again. Tee it up for me again, Christina. Go on. Let me at him.
You've played against him a few times, Jeepsy.
Yes. It's been always a nice time playing against Ryan. Yeah, usually on the winning side. A few dominating.
Well, except when I can't say the same thing. But
No. Let Thomas speak. Is he quite mouthy, or is he? What's Ryan like? You know, what are your experiences?
He is a mouthy. He's a mouthy guy. He gets in your face a lot. I've seen a few little scuffles. I wasn't involved in it. I'm not one to get involved too much, but with our forwards, like Dean Biden, a few times I reckon you've got in a scuffle or two with him. But then after the game, it's all chilled. Been on a few.
I love Buddy. Me and him become good mates, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine. We've had a few good nights out in Rome after Scotland games and stuff. So, it's been good.
There you are, Christina. It's all on the field.
Exactly.
This is true. We did agree.
It is true. Yeah. I'm only joking.
We did say that last week.
I've always enjoyed. Yeah.
Actually, do you know what, Ryan? Yeah, we were. I was doing a video shoot there with some of the. Two of the boys, the Irish boys, and they were just kind of saying as well, they were like, before listening to the podcast, actually, they had no time for you. But since listening to the podcast, they're your biggest fans.
Seems what?
You really, what is it, Seems? Like, why do the Irish boys just not like Ryan?
I know, it's so strange because he has such a lovable face. I don't know.
I think there's a few players that you don't get along in the games, and then once you meet them off the field, it's a bit different.
Yeah,
this is
true. I guess Ryan's one of them. Yeah,
and Mike as well. Good. I never liked Mike when I was younger playing against him. I always.
Yeah, that's a lot of people say that.
Yeah. But to talk to him outside the pitch, couldn't meet nicer people. So yeah. I actually I admire that a lot about players who can up the ante and get real play on the edge, I suppose, during games.
Tom, our next question is obviously you are actually our first Italian on the podcast, or Italian international. Now, as history dictates, you must give us the inside scoop on what takes place for your initiation for both club and country.
Okay, well, in country, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. Everybody's got a bald head after their first cap. So they literally, I think it's because we've got to be like Sergio. So everybody gets to shave their head after their first cap, and just a lot of drinking. I think you got to cheers with everybody in the team, and they just pour you whatever they want, and you just got to finish that. So after like 23, 24 players just come up to you and just chin you, and you got to down everything. It gets pretty heavy. A lot of wine, a lot of beer, a lot of mix. So it's pretty bad. Club, not too much, just a little talent show, which gets pretty rowdy after a few drinks. Boys just chucking vegetables, tomatoes, whatever, when they don't like some of the talents. But yeah, I think the Italy one is pretty bad. I don't like getting my head touched too much. So I wasn't too pleased when I had to shave it all off, and it was Castro that did it for me, and he literally just like did some random shapes and like some really, really shit haircut, and then I had to keep that for like a whole week, which wasn't the best thing. But yeah, it's I think it's like any other country. It's just a lot of drinking. And then you get the lucky Italian that wins in his debut. I wasn't that one, but yeah, not many players can do that. But yeah, if they win, it gets even worse.
Oh Jesus!
What happens now? What happens if they win then?
No,
abuse for winning.
More drinking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's never normal, is it? I remember the Fijians. They couldn't believe it when we were in Fiji. And Big Leone Nakarawa again, they couldn't believe what you did to someone on their first cap. Whereas in Fiji, they're treated like royalty. It's their first cap.
Yeah.
Everyone like praises them. Whereas over here, it's like no. You're getting you a drink, you're gonna get abused.
You destroy them, don't you?
Yeah. And then
I can't actually remember my first cap, like the night out. I passed out after a couple of hours. So yeah, it wasn't the best.
All right. Now, next question. Now that the South Africans are in a European league and they're not going anywhere, there are rumours about them joining the Six Nations in the not so distant future and potentially replacing Italy. Can you see that happening?
First Georgia, now South Africa. Geez. Honestly, I don't see it happening too much. I know the last couple of years has been quite tough for Italy result-wise. We haven't proven too much, especially this last Six Nations under Franco Smith. It's been quite a tough campaign, but hopefully we can show that club rugby is going well and international can kind of follow its footsteps as well. So it'd be nice to have a few more years to try and prove ourselves. I know we keep saying that every year, and then it gets to a certain point when it gets too much. I'm surely having South Africa in the Six Nations is going to help, but maybe you can make it a Seven Nation instead of having to chuck another team out there. But yeah, I know that the debate has been going on for so long now. But yeah, so one thing is South Africa, another thing is Georgia. Like we played Georgia plenty of times and beaten them quite easily. So I don't understand when people say that. South Africa is a different kind of team. So, but yeah, it'll be nice to still stay in the Six Nations and just share with the South Africans.
I agree though. See, with the Treviso doing so well, like when your clubs start doing well, then that's when the Italian team, and surely there'll be a flip on that because so many young players play for Italy over the Six Nations. And
there's a lot of youngsters this year. Yeah. And now Kieran's going to be the head coach, and he's done a lot of good for Italian rugby. So hopefully we can follow in the same footsteps with him as an Italy coach.
I think speaking of the international team, I think when a lot of our listeners do think about Italian rugby, they would just think of, the Italian team in the Six Nations that have been really struggling for the past couple of years. You've just mentioned it there. But can you give us some positives to look forward to for the future of Italian rugby? Like, is it because, the other Italian clubs are doing well now? Is that going to be, quickly become a reflection as to how well the Italians are going to do?
Yeah, I think so, 100%. We've got a lot more belief now between the players that we can achieve something. And we got a lot of youngsters coming in as well, which are at a high level. And so, yeah, it'll be quite an adventurous couple of years. I think Italy will play a lot more rugby. Certainly under Kieran as well, we'll be playing a lot and showing off our skills. And now our forwards are starting to develop as well. They're really young this year, so they're kind of maturing a little bit more. And we all know we need a performing pack of forwards to do well in the Six Nations. And that's what Italy had for a long, long time. And it's something that we're finding again now. So hopefully with that, we can compete more with the likes of all the other teams and make a name for ourselves again.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, Tom, we can let you go if you want to get back to your driving. I know it was.
I got another 5 hours. Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, look. Best of luck with the drive, and also best of luck at Quins as well. And we'll definitely have to have you back on next season.
Yeah, 100%. It'll be a pleasure.
Yeah. Looking forward to watching you in Quins, bud.
Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.
Take it easy. See you, pal.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thanks. Well, look, that is it from us. Thanks to Mike Brown, Tomasso Allan, Simon Zebo. Thanks to everybody who came on the show today. And thanks to you for listening. More offloading next week. Make sure to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a rating and review if you can. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube as well. Thanks, guys.
Nice one, lads.
Bye. Farewell.
Have a great night.